Hi, welcome back to Tony's Backyard Garage. Today we're going to take a break from the 50 GMC truck and do some maintenance on the 2007 Dodge Dakota. We're going to change the transmission filter and also the transmission pan. And this is a pretty nice piece. I don't usually give commercials for anybody, but I got these two pieces from carparts.com for about $65. The transmission pan, the new one, looks pretty solid, and it's got a drain plug, which they don't come with from the factory. Transmission filter, I don't know how to judge whether that's any good, but it looks fine. Generally, when you're doing a transmission filter, you don't need to replace the pan, but here in the Northeast, we use too much road salt, and my transmission pan is full of rust and has rust holes, and I woke up one day and saw this big leak under it, and after further investigation realized that it's because my transmission pan has rust holes. So here's the leak. So we'll take off the old pan and I'll show you how bad it is rusty, and then we'll put the new one on. Okay, so here's what we have underneath. I don't know if you can see it on the camera or not, but this is the worst of the rust holes. It's still leaking out. I put a pan underneath, but it's too little too late. It's been, most of the fluid has dripped out, it looks like. Yesterday I sprayed all the bolts with this PB blaster. Hopefully that makes them easier to come out. They're only torqued to 10 or 11 pounds, but given all the rust issues, I suspect they'll be hard to get off, and we certainly don't want to break them. They're 10 millimeters, but again, I suspect with the rust that some of the bolt heads have been rusted down, and we'll have to force a 3/8 inch socket onto them or something like that. That a 10 millimeter won't work on all of them. So I'm going to stop the video and attempt to loosen up all these pan bolts, and then we'll get back to it. Okay, so we've got most of the bolts out. I left the front ones in but loose, and then you leave this on an angle and it drips out. It usually makes a big mess because again, from the factory they don't have a drain plug. In this case it wasn't too messy because most of the transmission fluid had already dripped out onto the driveway, but we'll let the rest of it drip out for the next few minutes and then take the remaining bolts off, and then the pan will just drop into our drain pan. So we'll stop the video for a minute, and when we start again we'll be ready to put the transmission filter on. So here's the old pan. It's pretty bad. I don't know if this is the hole, or it could be over there, could be over there, or even where the bolts go in, there's a bunch of bad rust spots. So there's no saving this. It's good that we spent the $25 to get the new pan. Now, changing the filter is straightforward. It's just held in with 2 Torx bolts. The only thing to watch out for is it should come with an O-ring, and when you take the old filter out, here's the old filter, if the O-ring is not here, that means it's still stuck in the transmission housing. So pull the old one out before you put the new one in, because double O-rings don't seal right. So that's the only thing to watch out for, and then it's just 2 small Torx bolts and you're done. Okay, we're ready to put the pan on now. The one thing you want to make sure of is make sure the bottom is clean. So the gasket surface, we went over it with a razor blade, get rid of all the old gasket and dry it off. With the new rubber gaskets that they use, you don't need any RTV. They just say to put it on a dry, clean surface. which is what we'll do. And allegedly they're reusable, but there's really no reason to take the pan off anytime soon. So we'll stop the tape and we'll put the pan mount on. As I mentioned, you're not really supposed to use RTV on these gaskets. So I use blue painter's tape to hold the 4 bolts in the corners on, and then I put the gasket on that, and so that way we don't have to worry about it moving out of place when we go to install the pan. So we'll stop the tape, and we should be hand tight when we get back to it. Alright, we can't see very well, but we now have all the bolts in hand tight. And before we torque them down, it's a good idea to run your hand along the edge of the pan and make sure you feel the gasket all around. That may seem like overkill, but if the gasket fell in one place, you're in for a very bad day. You'll end up with a huge leak, and then you'll waste a bunch of fluid when you have to start over. So it takes 10 seconds to double check. You might as well do it. Alright, so we're going to torque this down, and we're going to do it in a crisscross pattern. So you start in the middle, and then do the opposite side of the middle, and then go towards the back, the next screw, and then opposite that one, which will be the front left, and so on, until you have the whole thing torqued to 11 foot-pounds. And then I saw this on the internet, I don't know if it's true. It says you should wait 10 minutes and then retorque it in a circular pattern. We might as well do that, because again, we don't want any leaks, and it only costs us 10 minutes. So I'm going to stop the tape, and when we're back, we should be ready to put some fluid in this. And check for leaks, obviously. Alright, so we're all done. We're back on level ground. Let's see what we do. Torqued everything twice, and then added 4 quarts of transmission fluid. It takes ATF plus 4 just to get it moving. 4 quarts ought to be enough. Then I moved it to level ground, added another quart, then drove it around for 10 or 15 minutes and checked it again, and added another quart. So it's good now. Checked for leaks. There are no leaks. So all in all, a success.